All right, everybody, welcome back. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin here. So our last few days, I think since Monday really, on Monday's live stream, we were basically watching this first major green candle come into play. At the time, we were looking at this area of price action, and we were assuming that most people may look at this and be looking for a bear flag, ascending channel, something that would break lower, right? And this was on Monday when news was incredibly fearful. At least from the weekend, right? We had some pretty decent downside last week going into the weekend on Thursday. So we were talking about how this, would be maybe the talk of the town. When in reality, this is just very similar to that inverse head and shoulders that everyone was like paying attention for back here, right? But if you if you remember this inverse head and shoulders here from back at 45, 46K, right at about the 9th of February when everybody was anticipating this to break out, when in reality all we did was we ran back to the range high, got rejected, cycled to the range low. From here, almost a similar story, right? So even though this was a bearish pattern, if you were only going off that, right, you want to kind of put some context around some of these things. So behind the scene here, what really happened was we dropped out of this range once again. At the time, it was Monday. We had formed our weekly pivot. Right, our weekly pivot generated right here. Right, so we came back, tested that weekly pivot. Basically, from there, we re-entered into the range. And essentially, when you get acceptance back into the range, you want to hold these range lows. Held the range low right here, and we started taking off. Now, generally from there, you're going to cycle through the whole range. Right, you got a natural born target of your point of control up here, which was about 42K. You got some major areas in between here, and then ultimately you're targeting your range high. Usually you don't see it all in one day, but this is Bitcoin, so that's I guess to be expected after we get some of these moves. But that's exactly what we kind of went through right over the last few days. Came in, held the range low, started taking off. If you go into an hourly, that was a 4-hour chart, right? You go into the hourly here, you can literally see where the resistances came in kind of as we started making that move up. Right, shot up, got resistance right here at the 2-year key level, slowly grinded up, got stopped for a minute right here at the 42K level, right here at the point of control. A lot of people are probably trying to short a lot of this way up more than anything. Basically shot straight through that, right? Then we get up here to this quarterly key level. The monthly open is actually, now this is for March. The February monthly open was down here, so this is adjusted now. So this is our new monthly open up here. But we shot to that, basically came up, took out the range high, which inevitably basically would have stopped out anybody shorting, right? If you would have entered a short trade here, more than likely you put your stop loss right above this high. And then with how quick this move just turned right back around, that would have took out anybody that was holding a short, right? With the stop loss there, not necessarily anybody holding, but just something to consider there. And at the end of the day, what we really did is all we did was cycle from the range low to the range high. All right, so that's what walked us into where we are, right? So, and then from here, what are we looking for? Right, so last night I did a live stream a little bit later at night, about 11 o'clock or 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we were looking for a reaction out of this area here. So we were looking to see if we get this rejection out of this area, or if we were to break through. And realistically, to start anticipating upside here, the range high is really that green light. You want to see a 4-hour to a daily candle close above this range high, which is effectively 45K. Till then, we're range bound, right? Still just ranging within here. A couple ideas I brought up last night was that obviously, these are our levels to watch to the downside. So right here, all of them have a why. All of them make sense as to why we'd come back and back test them. Obviously, we also just got a really nice, almost 30%, depending on where you're pulling from, impulse to the upside. And usually you'd see at least a 0.5 retrace come out of this, right? So if we're looking for that would put us right here at this basically, is that accurate? Yeah, I mean, that's from all the way down at the 35, the 34K, right? If you're looking for a retrace from there. If you're just looking from the 37, that 0.5 lines up right here with the monthly key level. So between this monthly key level and there would be our 0.5s across the board for this move overall. Right, this 2-year key level also just plays a huge role just in the price action in general. This is a high time frame average of price right here. This would also be our golden pocket in general, right, from this move from high to low. From this area right here from high to low. So you got the golden pocket lines up here. You got the 0.5 from the overall 30 through 35, $34,000 low to the high, stacked up right here with the 2-year key level. And it's also around that psychological level of 40K. To me, I don't necessarily know if we'll get there. And if we do, great. But if we make it down to this key level right here, or even back to this point of control, this is where I'd be paying a lot of attention to. And just, in general, yes, this would maybe still be the main area of interest, but just as far as getting greedy on the way down, I would still have some ideas of what to do if price action does reach these levels, right, for your strategy. So depending on what that means for you. But yeah, coming down, what do we got below us, right? We got our monthly open and our quarterly key level, pretty strong support right below us. Wouldn't be much of a pullback. That'd be about 5% total. 4 or 5%. Drop into the golden pocket I'm about to pull up is about 4.5%, 5%. So the golden pocket of this move right here does line up with 42,300-ish, right? So go ahead and box that off. So that's a golden pocket we got right there. And then we've got like an overall golden pocket coming in right here. So on the way down, though, these are where you'd start really wanting to pay attention for. And at any point, really, we could see the turnaround come out of any of these. So just be aware of that, right? So yeah, getting that pullback now. Once again, really nowhere that we haven't been right after we reached the range high yesterday. So nothing totally out of the ordinary here. Looking for a retrace anyways. How deep is it going to be is the question, right? So one of the things that we were discussing last night as well is when you see these bursts and these major moves like this, not saying it's obviously, it's almost hopium to just say it's just going to keep going straight up. But sometimes we don't get much of a pullback at first, right? Very similar to back in July and September, October time, I guess, of last year, when we burst out from that summer low, right? 27K. We just basically ran it back to like 45 before we even got a decent pullback. And then October was similar, right? We took off from 40K and almost didn't look back, right, till about 70. So this has been a little different so far because we have had a couple days now where we've just been ranging. So also quite possible that we just kind of range within this area as well. But these are the levels to watch regardless, right? You want to keep your eyes out for these. There is that little golden pocket right here. This would also entail taking out some stop losses more than likely from people trying to long at this area that are, that just came to long late basically into the main resistance. Down here, once again, you do have the point of control, which is a major support now that we're above it. And below here, you got a monthly key level. This 2-year key level to me, would make sense. Don't get me wrong. This has got a lot of confluence, so to speak. The only issue I have with it is that it's 40K pretty much right on the nose. Not that means anything because it still can come right down to it. The issue is I think that a lot of people would be waiting for some of these lower levels. And even if we do get to here, everybody's going to always be waiting for that next lower level. So everybody's always going to turn around and say, I wish I would have bought. Even though we had gotten this opportunity right over here just a few days prior to that. And even that, 37K days before that. Or days after, I guess. But regardless, yeah, these are, our few levels to pay attention for. 4 lines, nothing crazy. All of them have a why behind why they're important, why they're relevant. And then to the upside, right? So say we come through here, right? And say just this is where we turn around at. Come down, hit this golden pocket, and start taking out this range high. Take out this range high and things change, right, for the upside. Because right now we are really nowhere we haven't been over the last almost 2 months. January 5th, we were at 46K, right? Let's scroll that back. Let's see. January 5th, we were actually at 43K. So last time we were at the price action, yeah, give or take, that's pretty much where we are. So January 5th, right? It's March 2nd now. So we've almost been in the same, just area for 2 months, give or take. And really nothing changes until this range high is broken, 44,900, call it 45K. And you're going to want to see at least a 4-hour candle close or a daily candle close above here. If we do see something like this, I would imagine it'd be pretty quick, right? And just for the same token as I think everybody's waiting for lower. And what only reason I bring that up, and not that that's necessarily the market driver by any means, it's just sentiment alone. A lot of people were really worried right here. This was a time frame where the news. This really, I think, shook a lot of people out and shook a lot of people up, regardless. Whether even if you were, selling around these areas or selling up here, thinking that we were just going to crash right below this. I think a lot of people exited the market, even here or just on the way down to it. I think that, there was maybe a lot of people that wanted to buy into the market or pick up some more at, down rates. And since then, we've seen just such an uptick. It makes a lot of people nervous. And, with that, it's very important to pay attention to how the price action moves from here. But if you're looking for more upside, it's this range high, in my opinion, is your golden ticket to assuming that we're going to range higher. Right, so that's where I'd be looking to start, running the higher probabilities that we're going to be moving up towards that next range. That next range low does come in, as we've been talking about. Range low comes right in here, about 45,800, 45.8. Right, so if we were to come through here, right, hold this range high, 4-hour candle body close, daily close, something of that nature, a higher time frame, at least a 4-hour to start kind of anticipating it. You really want to see that daily close above there. But then we're probably going to be cycling higher, right? So this range low comes in right here. We enter this next range, and then we've got pretty much a natural target of the point of control, which is going to be right here, 49K, right? Then we've got the range high, which is going to be, essentially where we're going to be aiming after that. Would be about 50,250. On the way there is one major key level where I imagine we're going to get some reaction out of, meaning we'll probably get a decent pullback or some stagnation, some ranging area, and that's right here at 47,700. So idea is for upside, right? You really want to see this range high broken, held as support, 4-hour candle close, daily candle close, 12-hour, something of high note to start looking for this acceptance back into this previous range from here, right? We want to hold those lows. You're going to be looking up towards this 47,700. We got a point of control right above that, and then we've got the range high lined up perfectly with our big rounded $50,000 psychological number, right? So if we get up to here, we get a rejection, it's going to be thought of as that's because it's 50K, when in reality that's the range high. So that would be the targets to the upside, right? I've been looking at those for weeks as well. Generally after these moves, you do get a little bit of a range to the side. We know the levels below we want to pay attention for. Looking to see how how this little golden pocket does react right here. And overall looking to take out this range high, whether it's from this area, the point of control, monthly key level, or this 2-year key level right here, right? Could you go all the way back down to the range low? Always, right? That's always a risk as well, right? Coming from the range high, you do have to target the range low overall, but in a position like this, we've come to the range high 3 times already. So at some point we're going to resolve this to the upside. So if we do get a turnaround on one of these, I would imagine we're going to take this out soon. And until next time, everybody, have a great day. Cheers.